Surfers in those days were thought of as kind of outlaws. The public at large looked at surfers much like they do Hell's Angels. They were out of step with society. They didn't dress like everybody else dressed. They didn't shave. They'd be changing their trunks to their pants, standing beside the car, and they weren't so conservative. They would come down, and there was a camaraderie between these, I call them tribes.
I started surfing board surfing in 1946.
My early surfing career started probably in around 1936.
I live in Laguna Woods, California, and I'm a lifetime surfer.
I'm a surfer. Some of the happiest days of my life were involved with surfing.
I started surfing in the 1950s.
I started surfing in 1954, but my first initiation was in 1941 at Waikiki Beach.
Of the guys that I grew up with, and they called them the Dana Point Mafia later on, called all of us that. Hobie and the Surfboards, Bruce Brown in the films, John Severson the magazine, Walter Hoffman fabrics for shirts. I had 22 retail stores. First surfboards were solid wood, usually out of redwood, but in Hawaii they didn't have redwood, so they used other local woods, which were denser and heavier. This board was made by Duke Kanemoko on the beach at Corona del Mar. Duke is considered to be the founding of modern day surfing because of his prestige and the gold medals. I spent 3 years hitchhiking around the world, and I was truly having the venture of my life. As soon as I got home, we had a big party, and Hobie and Bruce Brown and all my pals came, and I showed them the pictures that I had taken over these 3 years. So Bruce decided to follow my trip on an airplane, of course, and he did it in 6 weeks. Followed my trip from Tahiti to Australia to South Africa, and made the famous surf movie called The Endless Summer. When that movie came out, that's what really changed the whole public awareness.
All I wanted to do was go in the water every day.
Surfing became a high priority at the time. It's kind of a disease, it's an addiction.
My wife said, "You have a phone call from Huntington Beach Surfing Sport." The manager said, "Is this Chuck Lynn?" Says, "We want to honor you, and we feel honored to have you. You have just been selected to be in the Surfing Hall of Fame in Huntington Beach." And I said a surfing term, I says, "I'm really stoked." Maintain your high tide and low tides. Know how to come in and go out.